Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you stick it out through this video. It shouldn't be very long, but I just really want to touch base on some things that you might not be aware of. February 24th is a State of the Union. It could be a very pivotal State of the Union address. In the Constitution, this day is ordered. It is the only day that is ordered that all Congress and Senate and people of power come together. What could that possibly lead to? Well, in a perfect world, it would lead to what is going to be discussed in this video. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to please go check out my sponsors, Noble Gold, My Patriot Supply, My Pillow, Boomer. Those people stuck through it with me through this whole situation. I would be so grateful if you checked them out. But ladies and gentlemen, all of this situation started on this particular speech, and that was Trump's very first inauguration.
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning, because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left and the factories closed. The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country. Their victories have not been your victories. Their triumphs have not been your triumphs. And while they celebrated in our nation's capital, there was little to celebrate for struggling families all across our land. That all changes starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you. What truly matters is not which party controls our government, but whether our government is controlled by the people. January 20th, 2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again.
In that speech, he was talking about people of power have bettered themselves on the backs of we, the American people, our tax dollars, and so forth and so on. And as we know today, of all the fraud that is going on throughout our country, obviously what he was talking about is front and center throughout the whole entire country and the world, for that matter, because it includes everybody, okay? And then you have David Nunes.
So you believe that they raided Mar-a-Lago because they were looking for this. They were looking for the intelligence community assessment, your report on Russia's influence campaign targeting the 2016 presidential election. That's why they raided Mar-a-Lago.
I believe it had to be one of the things that they were looking for. Because look, that report is pretty damning. If people take the time to read it, it's 45 pages. It spent, we had a dedicated team that spent nearly 2 years down at the CIA looking through this. It was blocked from getting out. And the reason that report is so important, right? That's, let's just dumb it down. Simply put, we went through every single piece of intelligence that existed. And if anything, it was clear that if Putin was going to do anything, he probably wanted Hillary Clinton to win. But in fact, if you just apply a little common sense to it, the fact was that nobody around the world thought that President Trump was going to win in 2016. Same with Vladimir Putin. He didn't either. And so when you go through that, that was the intelligence. Every piece of intelligence that existed we went through it. It's in that report. And what do we know? After all this, after all, Trump and Russia and collusion, the two people that didn't collude? Trump and Russia.
More of what's going on has to do with that. They have been after Trump forever, from the get-go. As soon as he came down the escalator, say, hey, I'm running for president, people started yapping, saying how much he's not going to win and so forth and so on. And we all know the outcome of that first deal, okay? And then you wind up having this come about.
We have to abolish ICE. We have to abolish the Customs and Border Patrol in the way that they currently exist and replace them with something that actually does the work that we need for them to do, and that is effective at holding these people in this administration accountable. I'll tell you what the work is not. The work is not killing American citizens.
You said the work we need them to
community.
do. I'm interested in your opinion. What is the work that we need them to do?
Absolutely. One, the work is not killing American citizens.
No, what is the work we need them to do?
Well, first, let's look at what they don't need to do. They don't need to go into communities like Memphis,
Do they need to deport illegal aliens?
where they're currently terrorizing and traumatizing our communities. What we also need to make sure is that we have elected officials who are creating a pathway of opportunity for people who are currently undocumented.
Do we need a federal law enforcement agency to deport illegal aliens, yes or no?
We do need a federal law enforcement agency that deals with immigration, that doesn't kill people.
To deport illegal aliens,
what we
yes or no?
also need is laws that make sure that people who are undocumented...
Is there a single illegal alien that you would deport?
You know, this is what I want you to focus on.
Is there one?
I want you to focus on. There are a lot of people in this country and in this community, in our communities, that have done so much to make them better, and we need to be prioritizing how we create opportunity.
Is this the Democratic position for 26?
The
That there are no illegal aliens that should be deported?
The Democratic position in 26 is that we don't terrorize American citizens, we don't terrorize undocumented people,
If you were advising Democrats in 26, would you advise them to answer this question this way, that you can't say there is a single illegal alien that should be deported by the federal government?
What is shocking to me is that you think you can narrow the challenges of immigration,
There's 20 million
that you can challenge the issues of immigration into one yes or no question, when the reality is the policies and practices
should we follow the law is the yes or no question.
Have led to the deaths of American citizens and has not produced the results that
no deportations. That's the Democratic position.
See, ladies and gentlemen, that's Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings is a straight shooter, which I love straight shooters. People that speak directly to the American people and to the people that he's trying to get to become smart. But obviously that's not really ever going to happen, because they're all thinking one direction, and it's not the American direction at all. And it's a problem, ladies and gentlemen, because people like that are the problem of what goes on in our country. It's a bad situation. But then you have this.
I guess what frustrates me is because Democrats, we now learned that Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, at post-conviction, was local conviction in the state of Florida, they were still asking this guy for money. And, for all the talk about Donald Trump, 25 years ago, or around 25 years ago, he threw this guy out of the Mar-a-Lago club, which in, society in Palm Beach is a big deal, and did it publicly. He humiliated him. If the guy had anything incriminating on Donald Trump, I'm sure we would have heard about it a long, long time ago, right?
That's exactly right. That's what all the former attorneys general have said, Bill Barr and Merrick Garland and everyone. If there had been any dirt on Donald Trump, that would have leaked out, because Donald Trump has that many enemies in the Department of Justice, in the deep state apparatuses that were supposed to be investigating Epstein. So with respect to Trump, I don't think there's anything there. And I think that if you look at Epstein and who the real bad people were, the real bad people were the ones who continued to communicate with Epstein after he was convicted the first time. And that's where the real bad behavior took place. That's where you have to really question anyone that was ever around Epstein. If you continue to associate with Epstein and Maxwell post the conviction in 2010, then you have some questions that need to be answered. And we're looking at what the Department of Justice did. That's one of the things I've been doing, going into the Department of Justice, looking at the unredacted version of the documents.
So then you have James Comer talking about Epstein ties throughout Congress, and we all know that there's a lot of people that are implemented within the Epstein files. People of royalty, people of different countries and so forth and so on, government officials here in the United States taking money from this and taking that, blah, blah. We all know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and if you don't, you should really do your research and start reading, because it is freaking everywhere. Go to justice.gov/Epstein and you'll be able to find all the files. I don't necessarily suggest you do that because a lot of it is sickening. You got to think of it, the fact that what you see in movies happened in real life. When you see it in movies, you're like, oh, no, this isn't real, it's a movie. But what you see in the movies is what really, truly happened within the Epstein files and everybody else that is implemented within it. But ladies and gentlemen, it comes down to the State of the Union. The State of the Union is, excuse me, the State of the Union is the only time that Congress has the authority to arrest people that have that have committed massive crimes massive crimes, treason, espionage, all this stuff. And as you can see right, this is what happens. And we're going to start with this because February 24th lines up with all kinds of stuff that has to do with Trump, okay? Late February, moments involving Trump. 2017, first Trump address to Congress, in which you just, that you'll be able to see at the end of this video. 2018, consolidation year. February 24, 2018, Trump was riding momentum from tax cuts, job acts passed in 2017, strong stock market, Mueller probe ongoing, but had not yet peaked. And then you have 2019 investigation closing. February 24th, 2019, Mueller report nearing completion delivers on March 22nd. Trump publicly attacked DOJ, credibility, FBI, narrative shift, no conclusion, defense. 2020, post-impeachment, COVID emergency. Trump had just been acquitted of impeachment number 1. COVID is being surfaced, U.S. awareness. 2021, out of office narrative reset. Trump was out of office, recently acquitted on impeachment number 2. Narrative, a media narrative, Trump is finished. Boy, I guess they were wrong on that. Reality, GOP polling still showed Trump as party leader. 2022, the Mar-a-Lago raid, right? DOJ, National Archives, the raid on Mar-a-Lago. Trump also issued statement on Ukraine war. 2023, illegal pylon phase. Trump facing Manhattan DA. Bragg is in the Epstein files. January 6th, committee fallout, so forth and so on. 2024, election year turning point. Trump had effectively locked the GOP nomination for Supreme Court ballot access cases, Colorado, Maine, underway. Now we have Georgia and more to come on that. The pattern. Across 9 years, late February, repeatedly aligned with narrative reset. Trump re-emerging stronger after pressure. Why February 24 matters. It matters because of this, ladies and gentlemen. The State of the Union. Can members of Congress and Senate be arrested? Oh, yes. And this is the day that it can happen, at the State of the Union when they're all together. Short answer, plain English. Yes, a member can be arrested during the State of the Union. No, they cannot be arrested for ordinary, unserious offenses. Yes, they can be arrested immediately for serious crimes. Well, we all know that there's a lot of people within the state and within the government that have serious crimes, have committed serious crimes. It's in the Epstein files, ladies and gentlemen, among elsewhere. This controlled by the Constitution, not House rules. The constitutional rule that matters, Article 1, Section 6 of the United States Constitution grants members limited immunity. Members are privileged as arrest from arrest except for treason, felony, breach of peace. What breach of peace really means. Courts have ruled this includes any criminal offense, any violent or disruptive act, any threat to public safety. And well, what have we seen recently within Minnesota? So what cannot trigger an arrest during a state of the union? A member cannot be arrested in a state of the union for civil lawsuits, parking tickets, failure to pay fines, subpoenas, contempt of Congress by itself, political protest, or speech alone. Even if warrants exist for minor offenses, it is typically delayed. What can trigger arrest in the State of the Union? A member can be arrested immediately if their felony or warrant, possible cause of felony committed that day, violence or assault, weapon violations, espionage, conspiracy, credible threats, obstruction involving force. At that point, immunity does not apply. As you can see, I'm just going to let this keep on playing. But ladies and gentlemen, these are real deal Holyfield situations. We know that people in power have done exactly what you have heard me read and see scrolling on the screen. We know for a fact. And apparently, the only day that Congress has any power to do anything with this, sergeant at arms, and the sergeant at arms is the one that is lead. I mean, 100% lead when it comes to that. Capitol Police is under them. So if, I don't know, just say, for instance, people really do get held accountable, then all of a sudden, maybe, just maybe, people will be held accountable for what they have done to overthrow we the American people / the government. It is everywhere. And if you don't know it, then I don't know, read. Stop listening to dumb people talking, because dumb people lie to you. This is legitimate, 100%. 100%. This is how you clean up our government. And I'm going to leave you with this. The last State of the Union address from Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, this is real deal Holyfield, and this is how you can clean this mess up. One day out of the year. And that is at the State of the Union. God bless you all. Please check my links. Every bit helps. Share this video, like, subscribe, all that happy crap. I really appreciate it. With everything that has gone on with this channel, I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that this video finally does major deal when it comes to views like it was before things happened. And boy, oh boy, I can't wait until I can talk about those things. Oh boy, can I not wait. But hey, until next time, here's the last State of the Union from Trump. See you soon. God bless each and every one of you.
And we have many in the pipeline. My administration is also defending religious liberty, and that includes the constitutional right to pray in public schools. In America, we don't punish prayer. We don't tear down crosses. We don't ban symbols of faith. We don't muzzle preachers and pastors. In America, we celebrate faith. We cherish religion. We lift our voices in prayer, and we raise our sights to the glory of God. Just as we believe in the First Amendment, we also believe in another constitutional right that is under siege all across our country. So long as I am president, I will always protect your Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. This is our glorious and magnificent inheritance. We are Americans. We are pioneers. We are the pathfinders. We settled the new world. We built the modern world. And we changed history forever by embracing the eternal truth that everyone is made equal by the hand of Almighty God.
America is the place where anything can happen. America is the place where anyone can rise. And here, on this land, on this soil, on this continent, the most incredible dreams come true. This nation is our canvas, and this country is our masterpiece. We look at tomorrow and see unlimited frontiers just waiting to be explored. Our brightest discoveries are not yet known. Our most thrilling stories are not yet told. Our grandest journeys are not yet made. The American age, the American epic, the American adventure has only just begun. Our spirit is still young. The sun is still rising. God's grace is still shining. And my fellow Americans, the best is yet to come. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Food supplies have been completely wiped out. We have a evacuation of all counties. I report complete devastation. We have a giant squall, cloud, it's gobbling up everything in the path. This is a total loss of fire.
There are forces in this world that remind us of how fragile we are. We thought we were safe. We thought it could never happen to us. Then life like a fog descends upon us, blanketing our memories. Through the haze, we travel its hidden paths, lost in its secret places. And when the storm, turbulent and immovable, forces us to shelter, we remember. It calls to us, calls us back. Back to the ports and the harbors of our past. We fight the currents that pull and drag us off course, not a light or star to chart the way. And when we arrive, we don't always know it at first, the places we once loved guised by time. Then we see it, the place we've been trying to get back to. Safe at last, we've found our way home.